Once again, very good morning to all of you. Welcome back in this 1 week STTP on machine learning and artificial intelligence, sponsored by TechCube Third. This is day 4 and session 2. We have expert with us, Dr. Ashutosh Kumar Dubey. Very good morning, sir. Welcome again, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Morning. Sir was having the one session on 12th January, first session 9:30 to 11. So today we have the second session. Sir is briefly I introduced to sir, assistant professor in the Department of CSE, Chitkara University, Punjab, having the vast knowledge of research and in machine learning and algorithm. So hope participant will definitely get some new ideas from the sir. So without any delay, I am hand over the session to sir. Sir, shall we start the session?
Yes.
Yeah, sure, sir. Welcome. Session is yours.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Good morning, all. Just a minute. I will share my PPT. Am I audible? Is PPT visible?
Yes, sir. Both thing is perfect.
Okay. Thank you. In the last session, we have already discussed the importance, learning mechanism, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and the types of artificial intelligence, and supervised learning, unsupervised learning. Today, we will discuss steps of machine learning, data collection tools, services, and testing machine learning models. How you train and test, validate machine learning models. Let's start from steps of machine learning. So, in machine learning, there are three important tasks. The first task is to train the data, second is validate the data, and third is test the data. For this, if you visualize this particular picture, then you saw that you first input the data, then we apply machine learning algorithms. Based on that, testing and validation was performed, and prediction will be performed, and you evaluate the accuracy of the trained model. So the first part is the data collection. After that, you prepare the data, then choose the model, train the model, evaluate the model, parameter tuning, and finally the prediction. So if you consider data collection task, then data collection may be performed based on source feeding, database, real-time collection. Here, source feed means just like Twitter API. It is required to create a user and password to register with Twitter in order to have the credentials to collect data from the website. This is the blend features provided by the Twitter API and your own code. And the main goal is what? It is to customize the way and kind of data to collect from Twitter. Then the second part is the database. A selection of kind of database is very important. And it is based on the personal use. It depends on the domain knowledge and preferences of the user. In this particular case, given data structure provided by Twitter, a non-relational database, and maybe relational database, which seem to be the best approach to take. So now we can discuss the source raw data for machine learning and how to go about conducting data annotations, because it's the very important part of data gathering phase or data collection phase. For example, if you want to collect data for machine learning tasks, then the first thing is you can consider open source data set. Open source data set means the internet contains thousands of publicly available data set ready to be used, analyzed, and enriched. The trouble with public data set is finding ones that are actually useful or suitable for your model. For example, you have already heard UCI repository, Kaggle repository. UCI means University of California, Irvine. But the trouble is what? That in public data set, there is the chances that what particular data set, and if you find it, then actually it is useful or suitable for the for your model is not. Then you can say, while public sources contain a seemingly unlimited amount of rich, detailed data, they might not be very useful for a specific end goal. Even if you obtain the right data, you will likely need to be clean and edit it before it's anywhere near ready for input into your system. Then, if you want to collect web data, then web scraping describes the automated programming use of an application to extract data or perform actions that user you would usually perform manual tasks. These tools look for new data automatically, fetching any new or updated data and storing them for future access. So you can say web scraping presents considerable opportunities for individuals, researchers, business, and government to make sense of large amount of information. However, you can say there are obvious and growing concerns regarding privacy and legality, because especially for the cases where data is collected without the knowledge of individuals. So there are some concerns, but you can use that, you can use for the research purpose, business purpose, or analytics purpose. Then synthetic data set creation. You can also build synthetic data sets, particularly useful in the absence of adequate real world data. Okay. One of the key benefits of using synthetic data is that you are able to clearly define a number of features because it is created by you. So the attributes, the parameters will be decided by you only. So the main benefit of using synthetic data is that you are able to clearly define a number of features such as the scope, format, attributes, properties, and amount of noise within the datasets also. So developing an environment in which a reinforced learning algorithm can operate can generate unlimited data streams based on the model action. So the potential for synthetic data uses is obvious, but it is by no means a universal fix for all. Why? Because it is a good approach in some cases. It may not be most viable or optimal one in terms of time and effort. As such, creating synthetic environment is often time consuming or huge engineering burden is needed, especially when it is done without any specific research design or working scenario. So, while using synthetic data, you may consider some of the things that is very appropriate to develop that particular to develop the set of data which is without any risk or without any copyright infringement or without any privacy issues. So successful machine learning systems need to be able to operate in very complex real world environment. As the technology currently stands, artificial data alone is not enough to train advanced machine learning algorithms. Okay, so you can gather synthetic data set or you can create synthetic data set, but it is not only sufficient to model an algorithm or a model of machine learning algorithm. It is not enough to train advanced machine learning algorithm. Then internal data, like we are in an industry, we are in teaching houses, university, institutes. There are a lot of data, student data, college informations, along with that teacher information. So internal unstructured data available represents a huge opportunity for large organization. Machine learning models based on internal data can be very helpful in streaming business process and increasing productivity also. But you can say internally sourced data raised many concerns. Like the first concern is the privacy, especially when it involves personal identifiable information. Another reason why organizations don't take advantage of internal data is the inherent complexity of extracting and formatting it. because it is completely raw data. As in the case of open source dataset, internal data requires a great deal of pre-processing. You need pre-processing because after pre-processing, you can structure the data set in the meaningful way where you can apply some machine learning algorithm or you can train your model. So in case of open source data set, you can say it requires a great deal of pre-processing in order to make it usable for machine learning. Then you can collect raw data from tools also. Like the first tool is data scraping tools. Data scraping tools are those tools which describe the automated, programmed, and you can say action-oriented uh, action-oriented data where you can obtain the data without any coding, such as social media posts or images. You can Octopars and Mozenda. Companies offer a tool to extract data from the web. What is Octopars? It is a web scraping tool that lets user obtain public data without coding. And Mozenda, this tool allows people to extract unstructured data without scripts or developers. Then, second is synthetic data generator. Synthetic data can also be programmatically generated to obtain large sample size of data. This data can be used to train neural networks. You can use Python DB generator and Mokaro. These particular tools you can use for synthetic data generator. What is Python DB generator? It is a Python library that can be used to generate a large synthetic database as specified by the user. For example, PyDB generator can generate a data set of random names, credit card numbers, company names, and many more. Then Mokaro is a data generator tool that lets user create custom CSV files, SQL file, JSON, and Excel dataset to test and demo software. Then data augmentation tool. It is also very important. Data augmentation may be used to expand the size of an existing data set. You want to augment. Augment means you want to expand the size. This is generally used in image visualization and image processing. Image visualization and image processing. So it is used to expand the size of an existing data set without gathering more data. For instance, an image data set can be augmented by rotating, cropping, or altering the lighting condition in the original files. Okay. So in these scenarios, you can use OpenCV, scikit-image. Okay. What is OpenCV? This Python library includes image augmentation functions. For example, it includes feature for bounding boxes, scaling, cropping, rotation, filter, blur, translation, and many more. Okay, so it is mainly important for image visualization and image processing. Okay, then scikit-image, similar to OpenCV, this is also a collection of algorithms for image processing available free of charge and free of restrictions. Scikit-image also has feature to convert from another color space to another. Okay, it is also useful in resizing and rotation, erosion and dilation, filters, and many more. Then, very important, you can gather data from open source dataset. We have already discussed that there are two types of dataset. One is primary dataset, and second is secondary data source. Okay, primary data source or primary dataset, and second is secondary dataset. Primary dataset, when you gather the dataset, when you gather the data, when you have collected the data set, that is called primary data set. For example, if you have collected or if you collected the data of students of a university, this is called primary data set. But if you consider any data set which was already any repository, those particular segment or those particular data set is called secondary data set. Okay. So let's discuss open source data set. It is another way to obtain raw data from machine learning, and it is useful in pre-built pre-built, and it is publicly available dataset on the internet. There are thousands of publicly available datasets spanning in a wide range of industries and use cases. Let's see the example UCI machine learning repository, LODEM, Kaggle, ALP Open Dataset, DBPDI, European Union Open Data Portal, Registry of Open Data on AWS, RODA, WHO, and there are lots of many more. You have already heard, and some of you are already explored these particular repository, and you have already used the data set from these particular repository. We will discuss one by one. The first is very famous UCI machine learning repository. U for university, C for California, I for Irvine. That is University of California, Irvine Machine Learning Repository. It serves as a comprehensive repository of databases, domain theories, and data generators that are used by the machine learning community and other also, okay, for the empirical analysis of machine learning algorithm, artificial intelligence, and many more other domains. Currently, approximately you can say in this repository there are at present more than 450 datasets as a service to the machine learning community. More than 450. I think it is approximately 500 dataset are there, including cancer dataset, heart disease dataset, diabetes dataset, iris dataset. There are a lot of dataset. Okay, so the for Machine Learning and Intelligence System at the University of California, Irvine hosts and maintains it. That's why it's named UCI, because it is maintained by Machine Learning and Intelligence System at the University of California, Irvine. That's why the name is UCI. Okay. David had originally created it as a graduate student at UCI, or University of California, Irvine. Then second data repository is LODEM. It is also an open data initiative, but the initiative of University of Munster. University of Munster. Okay. And this is LOD. This shows linked open data. LOD for linked open data. UM for University of Munster. So it is the open data initiative of the University of Munster. Under this initiative, it is made possible for anyone to access any public information about the university in machine readable formats. You can easily access and reuse it as per your needs. Open data about scientific artifacts, you can say, and encoded as linked data. This is for linked open data. Okay. This is for linked open data. It is made available under this project, LUDUM. That is the project of University of Munster. With the help of linked data, it is possible to share and use data, ontologies, and various metadata standards. It is in fact investigated that it will be accepted standard for providing metadata and the data itself on the web. So it is very useful. LODEM dataset is also very useful. LODEM dataset repository is also very useful. You can explore it. Okay. Then Kaggle. It is also very well-known Kaggle dataset. It is great because of a simple reason. It promotes the use of different dataset publication format. However, the better part is that it strongly recommends that the dataset publishers share their data, view their data, and if you want to share their data, it is accessible with non-proprietary format also. So this particular platform accessible data format. It is important, not just for access, but also for whatever you want to do with this data. It is very important. Okay. So you can see Kaggle dataset clearly defines the file format which are recommended while you want to share the data. It is very important. So we have already discussed UCI, LODEM, Kaggle. And in Kaggle, we have just discussed it that you can share your data in any particular format. This unique thing about Kaggle data set is that it is not just a data repository, it is also a shareable platform. Each data set stands for a community that enable you to discuss data, find out public codes and techniques, and conceptualize your own projects in different kernels. The different Kaggle platform supports different file formats, including CSV, JSON, SQLite, Archive, BigQuery. Different file formats are supported. So you can find a variety of resources in order to start working on your open data project. So the best part is that Kaggle allow you to publish and share dataset privately or publicly. The next is the ELP open data set. It is basically a subset of nothing but your but available as JSON files. You can use them in order to teach students about databases also. You can use them to learn NLP, natural language processing, or for sample production data while you are working on your or you can say in mobile application development domain also. In this data set, you will find each file composed of single object type, one JSON object per line. Okay. Next is DBpedia. As you know, Wikipedia, it is a great source of information. DBpedia aims at getting a structured content from the valuable information that Wikipedia created. Okay. So it is just a structure form of the information created on Wikipedia. So with DBpedia, you can say it can semantically search and explore relationship and properties of Wikipedia resources. This includes links to other related data set as well. Okay, but it is mainly for Wikipedia resource structurization, or you can say for exploring relationship and properties of Wikipedia resources. Then European Union Open Data Portal. Next is European Union Open Data Portal. In European Union Data Portal, it is governed by EU institution, European Union institutions, agencies, and other organizations, which can which publishes their data on single platform. And the name of that particular platform is European Union Open Data Portal. This particular open data portal is home to vital open data pertaining to EU public policies, or you can say policy domains. These policy domains include economy, employment, science, environment, and education. Around 70 to 80 European Union institution, organization, or you can say departments such as Eurostat, the European Environment Agency, the Joint Research Center, and other European Commission directories, general, and other agencies also have made their data set public and allowed access. So you can say it is also a rich platform. Then RODA, that is Registry of Open Data on AWS. This is a repository containing public data set. It is a data which is available from AWS resources. As far as RODA is concerned, you can discover and share the data which is publicly available. In RODA, you can use keywords and tags for common types of data such as genomic, satellite images, and transportation in order to search whatever the data that you are looking for. Or you can say it provides a simple web interface also for these type of resources. Then finally, you can say World Health Organization, WHO. So WHO, you all know, it is an open data repository maintained by World Health Organization, who keeps track of health specific statistics of its 194 members states. So that this particular repository, you can say, it keeps the data systematically organized, or mainly you can say mainly in the health domain, like cancer, heart disease, COVID-19, and other health related data. It can be accessed for different needs. For instance, whether it is mortality, or you can say death rates, or morbidity rate, or you can say burden of diseases. One can access data classified under 100 or more categories, such as the child health, reproductive health, immunization, HIV, AIDS, tuberculosis, malaria, neglected diseases, communicable diseases, water and sanitization, non-communicable diseases, risk factors, their epidemiology, disease prediction, health system, and environmental health, violence, injury. There are a lot of things maintained by World Health Organization, but the main focus is the health. Main focus, or the main, you can say, broad category of the domain concerned by WHO is health. So these are the famous data sources or data repository from where you can find your relevant data for your project, for your task, or you can say for your research work. And the data set is already available. So if you considering the data set from these repository, it means you are using secondary data sources. And what is the main benefit of secondary data sources? I tell you that you can compare it, because it is already available in these particular repository. Then there are a lot of research papers was already there are a lot of research papers were already being published using these particular sets. So you can compare your model, or you can compare your algorithms with the traditional one, which were already published in any another journal or any other platform. So you can compare it. In case of primary data set, if you are originated that particular data set, then the major task is to compare that particular data set, or you can say you perform some experimentation and evaluation based on different models. That why you can compare it that the suitability of the data is fine or it is optimal. So in primary data set, it is better to compare your data set with different algorithms, because there is not any comparison available, or there is not any past history of that particular data set. But in case of secondary data set, you have the past histories, you have different work explored already and published, which was already published, so you can compare it directly. But if you say, if you want to perform a good level of research, or you can say you want to elaborate your model, and you want to validate it properly, in my opinion, you have to perform training, testing, and validation with one primary data set along with different secondary data set, which which is already available on the dataset repository. It is better to combine the both aspect. You may consider primary dataset as well as secondary dataset, and it is better better you can take the combination of both, so that the validation is up to the mark. Or you can say it is better in this particular data set, it is also performed better in this particular data set. So you are quite sure about your data set also. Okay. Now, what are the different mechanisms for data collection services, or you can say tools? So the majority of algorithms require data to be formatted in a very specific way. This point you should admit that majority of the algorithms require the data in formatted way. You need some formatting, you need some pre-processing, you need some level of normalization. Okay. As such, dataset usually require some amount of preparation before they can yield useful insights. But you can say after you have collected enough raw data, you will still need to pre-process it before it is useful for training a model. Pre-processing is needed so that you can remove some unwanted values, or you can say noise and other things which is not required at all for your modeling purpose. So in addition to a data collection platform, There are several other companies also provide data labeling services also. So if we discuss about data labeling service, the first is Amazon Mechanical Turk. In abbreviation, you can also found MTurk. It is also known as MTurk. It is developed by Amazon, that is Amazon Mechanical Turk. It is a crowdsourcing marketplace commonly used for data collection projects. As a requester on the platform, you can design, publish, and you can also coordinate a wide range of data collection tasks, such as survey, transcription, and many more. So the MTruck is a powerful tool that allow you to define tasks, specify consensus rules, and define your own structure also. So it is better if you want to define your own structure, then you can use MTruck, because it is better if you want to refine your definition, or you want to define the specific task, or you want to define the structure of the data, labeling of the data, you can use MTruck. There is also a specific version of MTruck is Amazon Mechanical Turk Requester Dashboard. This dashboard is useful for processing the structure. It is one of the cheapest, you can say it is one of the cheapest data collection tools also on the market. There are several drawbacks also to using the MTruck platform, in spite of the usefulness. For one, it lacks key quality control features, unlike companies like uh, Lionbridge, you can say. It offers very little in the way of quality assurance, worker testing, or detailed reporting. But it is the cheapest data collection tool, and having a lot of features also. For a beginner, you can use MTruck, and I think it sufficiently assure the quality also. So in general, you can say it lacks key quality control feature, but in terms of quality assurance, worker testing, or detailed reporting, there are other tools also where you can choose or select those other tools also. Furthermore, you can see AMTruck places a heavy project management burden on requester to design tasks and recruit workers themselves. Second is Label Box. It is a collaborative data tool for machine learning team. This platform provides one place for data labeling, data management, and data science tasks. So it is also better for data science task. Okay. It is also efficient in data management, remember, and data labeling purpose also. So also widely used Label Box. It features including bounding box, image, annotation, text classification, and many more. So you can use Label Box also. Then third one is Figure 8. Figure 8. This human in the loop data platform provides its customer with services through a globally distributed contributor base. They have multiple processes embedded into their workflow to ensure accuracy and quality also. Then finally, Lionbridge AI. It is an open platform for users to design and manage their own data collection project. This tool works for all major file types. The main benefit is it works with all major file types with a unique feature to handle text, audio, images, in fact, video data also. So it also provides Lionbridge image annotation platform also. Or you can say like Amazon dashboard, it also provides the Lionbridge image annotation platform or dashboard, which provide the features and easy to use UI for engineers, researchers, and you can easily manage workflow and quality. So it is useful in workflow and quality management. So these are the main tools which can be used for the data collection part. So if you want to gather data, or then you want to prepare your data after pre-processing, to submit it to any your model, or you want to train your model, then there are a lot of things comes in your mind. The first thing comes in your mind is, where is your data? Where is your data? The first thing is, where is your data? Data gathering is the first phase. So the first thing is, where is your data? How will you gather your required data? How much data you need? What kind of data should you collect? Then what are the data patterns? It is also called features of the data. How can you identify and extract feature from data for machine learning? So these are the very basic questions when you want to collect your data and prepare your data for your machine learning tasks. That, where is your data? How much data do you need? What kind of data should you collect? What are the data patterns? How can you identify and extract feature from data for machine learning? So first, we discuss, where is your data? Is the first basic question comes in your mind. Where is your data? How it is collected? How it is refined? So data may be stored in your application database or by other third-party service provider. It may be. If you want to, for example, analyze your problem, analyze the problematic behavior, you may need to pull out their records from your own database, search the problem, search the objective, explore your objective. After exploring your objective and problem, you can get what type of data you needed and from where you can get it. So you can say, conversely, if you want to understand the interest of your problem and the implications of your objective, you might need to be find the service provider who specialize in generating such content, or you want to gather the data. For example, if I want to predict that this particular data set, or this particular patient is cancerous or not. For example, suppose that we are considering an example of cancer data set. We have total 10 patients with 10 attributes. 10 patients with 10 attributes. Suppose that the attributes are A1, A2, A3, like A10. Based on that, that this particular patient is cancerous. So if it is cancerous, suppose that the value 1, the value 1 shows that this particular patient is cancerous.